my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
So just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop.
The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave.
Come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite.
Now, there's one thing you might have noticed I don't complain about. Politicians.
Governments don't live together, people live together. Governments, you don't always get a fair word or a fair fight. Well, I've come here to give you either one, or get either one from you.
That is totally taken out of context.
Well, not really.
That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up,
T-minus 1 minute.
live out the true meaning of its creed.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
T-minus 50 seconds.
I am paying for this microphone, Mr.
Every dollar released from taxation
T-minus 40 seconds.
that is spent or invested will help create a new job.
Chivalry is dead, and women killed it.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines.
T-minus 20 seconds.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing ground and in the streets.
10, 9,
We shall fight
8,
in the hills.
6,
We shall never surrender!
3, 2, 1, 0.
Now you're on. All right, welcome to Problem Solver Politics live stream. I am your host, Cardin Ellis. Great to be with you with none other than Cody the Oracle.
Hey, everybody.
All right, we're still piecing things together here.
What's up, guys?
And none
It's
other.
always an interesting start, you know.
None other than Brittany the Shadow is gracing us with her presence
Hello.
There we go. I got her. Oh, and the lighting's good.
Ooh.
today.
Thank you.
All right, so we're starting out good. Rough start, but we're glad to be here.
Well, I wouldn't say it was a rough start. I'd say it was a very honest start.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my.
I'm hearing it too. I'll work on it, man.
Okay,
Just
awesome.
Do your thing. I'll work on it.
Catbert7's Gaming Highlights says, pretty dope countdown. Thank you very much. We work hard on that.
No, hold on. No, I'm not going to let you do that. It's not
What?
we. That's all Carden. So that's a shout out to Carden. I have nothing to do with that stuff. Carden does all that stuff. Take some credit, man.
All right. Okay, cool. It's actually probably one of the few technical things that I do.
That's what I mean.
You know, you're right. Actually, I should. Yeah, that's mine. You know. Anyway, interesting start says, oh, it's Joe Swanson. I prefer to call it an honest start, like Cody.
Yeah.
And that classy nerd represents elder millennial. I got to tell you, I like that term. Gosh, man, the only problem with these PSP memes and the lore that is associated with our show and our program is that so much of it happens during live streams and you can't remember, since there's not names that are people's YouTube usernames, it's just some gobbledygook. You can't remember who invented these phrases. So I love the live streamer that invented the solution over revolution. I also liked the person that invented the term elder millennial. I remember it was one of our girl fans, and she said, "You're not a boomer, you're an elder millennial." And
I still think I'd rather be a boomer than elder millennial personally. But
really? Okay, fine.
That's just me.
Carden wears the Superman hair. It's hiding underneath here.
Yeah.
It's hiding underneath here. But I'm repping the PSP hat today. And it's Joe Swanson says, thanks for the shout out. Woo, woo. Hey, you're welcome, bro. And JFB wants to know, who is Brittany the Shadow? Brittany, who are you?
JFB, you clearly are not a big fan of us if you don't know who I am. I am Problem Solver Politics. No. I am just Brittany the Shadow. I am Carden's wife.
So, hey.
So, hey.
Yeah, it doesn't,
What's up? That's your camera right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can look straight into it. Hi.
I clearly do this a lot.
All right. Awesome. Anyway, wow, we got a ton to talk about today.
Yes, we do.
It's kind of weird thinking our live stream yesterday was less than 24 hours ago. And all of this has happened that we're about to jump into in our show. I mean, it has been a busy, busy, busy day.
Well, I mean, and we're not even talking about all the nonsense that happened today. We're talking about a slice of the nonsense that happened today.
Yeah, which slice are we starting with? Cody, take it away, man. Just take it away.
Okay, and I'm sure it's a lot of you guys. Anyone who follows me on Twitter has been seeing me tweeting about this today.
Follows you or follows us? Is it your personal account or is the PSP
us,
account?
but I'm the one who tweets on it.
Yeah, I know. I was just making sure it wasn't like your personal one.
It's the royal we. Actually, it wouldn't be the royal we. It'd be the traditional we.
Okay.
It's like, you know, when you're a fan of a team, when you say we, it's like that kind of we.
Okay,
you know?
cool.
Like Lakers or we. Anyway.
I hear you.
Joe Biden was in Iowa speaking with, I don't believe, supporters. By the way, no malarkey tour. Shout outs, Joe Biden, no malarkey tour. I think this might be, I think no malarkey might be the meme that ends the Joe Biden campaign. Anyway, Joe Biden got into a bit of a tiff, I guess you could. Would you call it a tiff? What would you call it? What would you call it, Carden?
A straight up confrontation.
It was a confrontation.
Like, I mean, a legit, I'm about to take you out behind the shed and beat you.
Joe Biden doubles back to physically intimidate him twice. Anyway, without further ado, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this clip for you guys. Check it out, and we'll do a little play-by-play. We'll kind of go through it bit by bit. Actually, you know what? No offense to the, the first. Oh, I thought I said the fist. I was like, that's a really weird name for a news network, man, the fist. Anyway, we're going to blow this up, and we're going to take a listen. I want you guys to tell me what you think.
We all know Trump.
It starts a little quiet, guys. I'll try to skip ahead a little
messing
bit.
around with Ukraine over there, holding their foreign aid for them to come out saying that we're investigating. We don't want to go back what we do after that. But you, on the other hand, sent your son over there.
Someone takes off. That's when it gets popping.
He had no experience with class or nothing. In order to get access to the public, to the president. So You're selling access to the president just like he is. So you
You're a
got
damn liar, man. That's not true.
Oh!
No one has ever said that. No one has heard that.
Attacking his character right from the beginning. You're a damn liar.
No, I know you do. And by the way, that's why I'm not sedentary. I get up and no, let him go.
By the way, I don't want to pause every 2 seconds, but what is it called when you when you kind of like arch your shoulders back and physically walk towards somebody while yelling at him? What is the word for that?
Dude, the body language
I call
here
it physical intimidation. I don't know what the
Yeah.
actual word for it is when you start walking towards someone like, well, listen here, you damn liar. It's like, whoa. And speaking of, we'll get into what he says next. I'm not going to stop every 10 seconds. That always sticks out to me.
Go. Look, the reason I'm running is because I've been around a long time and I know more than most people know. And I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape line, let's do push-ups together here, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Let's take 19 seconds.
Oh! Look at the boomers. Oh, they're all so happy.
No one has said
By the way, I will
my
give
son
$5.
has done anything wrong, and I did not on any occasion. And no one has ever said it. Not
I
one.
didn't say you were doing anything wrong.
You said I set up my son to work in an oil company. Didn't I?
Which, by the way, might be true because I don't think Hunter Biden has the qualifications. Regardless, we'll move on. Maybe he had nothing to do with it, and the Ukrainians. I honestly think that should be another line of thing. I don't want to get. Maybe the Ukrainians erroneously thought it would help, but it didn't because Hunter Biden is a crackhead who cheats on his wife. Anyway, move on.
What you said? Get your words straight, Jack.
That's what I hear on MSNBC.
You don't hear that on MSNBC. You
Also, note how sure Joe Biden is that no, you don't hear bad news about me on MSNBC. I can guarantee you, Joe Biden's got no bad coverage on MSNBC.
I paid them off.
Yeah, thought it was funny how confident he was. And then we'll let it finish. Sorry.
Okay.
did not hear that at all. What you heard? Look, okay, I'm not going to get in an argument with you, man.
I don't want to.
Well, yeah, you do, but look, Fat. Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
It looks like you don't have any more backbone than Trump does.
Okay, so I'm going to play this again, but for those of you guys who didn't hear it, Joe Biden says, look, fat, here's the deal. When Joe Biden says, look, fat, here's the deal, you can actually see there's a bunch of children over here.
Can you zoom in on that, Cody? Do your cool...
I'll try to get it set.
Your mad skills.
I'll try to get it. See if I can.
But I hear on MSNBC.
You don't hear that on MSNBC. Well, yeah, you do, but...
Okay, cool. So I'll show you guys. So just keep an eye on these kids. And I can guarantee you he says fat. I'll play the video again if you want to hear it. He says, okay, listen here, fat. Now, it doesn't matter what I think he said. I want you to
look at the kid in the red sweater.
I want you to keep an eye on these children in this top part of the frame, center of the frame. Keep an eye on the way they react when Joe Biden says, so listen here, fat. Come up in a few seconds. Just keep an eye on how they react and tell me, I'll put it this way. Tell me what you think those children in the center of your screen near the top, tell me what you think they heard and what you think they understood Joe Biden is meaning.
Look, Fat, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Do you see those kids? I'll put it one more time.
Out of the mouth of babes. Can you get it even bigger?
Yeah, it's I mean, we're gonna start losing some fidelity here, but yeah.
Yeah, let's just go boom shakalaka.
But again, I mean, just keep an eye on these kids. It is hilarious, man. Like, it says specifically that kid in the red sweater. Keep an eye on how this kid in the red sweater reacts to this. It is hilarious, man. He knows exactly what Joe Biden just did.
You did not hear that at all. What you heard?
Okay, so they're arguing. Here we go. Watch this.
Well, yeah, you do, but look, Fat, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Like I said, those kids definitely knew what Joe Biden was saying when he said, okay, look, fat, here's the deal. Whoo! Oh, Joe Biden. And then again, to highlight again, this individual, I'll play his response. Tell me how listen to this guy's response. I'll tell you what he said after if you can't hear it. And tell me what you think he thought Joe Biden just said to him. So I'll play it one time.
Well, yeah, you do, but look, Fat, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
It looks like you don't have any more backbone than Trump does.
So immediately after Joe Biden says whatever he says according to the media, after Joe Biden calls this man fat, this guy talks over him and says, it sounds like you have less of a backbone than Trump. Again, these little kids definitely knew Joe Biden was calling him fat. This guy knew Joe Biden was calling him fat. A lot of people in the media don't want to say Joe Biden called him fat. He did, man. He literally says, "Look, fat. Here's the deal." All the kids in the room in the back start, "Oh my God, what did he do? Did he just call him fat?" Like everyone knew what was going on here. I don't know. We'll get into more in a second. That's all. I just want to quickly catch up with chat.
Well, can I just make one other observation as you go
please.
into the wide shot of this group?
Please, yeah.
You know, I just enjoy pointing out hypocrisy where I see it. I give credit where credit is due.
This is Iowa. It is Iowa.
Well, yeah, I know it's Iowa, but I mean, for the diverse coalition that Joe Biden brags about, I see nothing but an absolute butt-wide audience.
But I mean, Iowa is over 90%. It is like a 90% white state, so it's really, you know what I mean? Like it's
for the party that throws that around a lot. I don't see a lot of diversity. I don't see a broad coalition.
But
I see a bunch of literally 45 to 65-year-olds who brought their grandkids.
Okay, but in Iowa, they have two solutions then.
Because the millennials are working themselves to death.
What do you want them to do? Bust people in or not have events there? I mean, like, dude, if there's
they're Democrats, of course they want to bust people in.
No,
no.
Cody. That was a good one.
Oh man, Cody, I'm sorry I had to. It's gonna be a long stream.
I don't personally care.
Listen here, Skinny.
I don't really
listen here, Skinny.
I'll take that. I don't really care personally, man.
I can't say Skinny because he didn't say listen here, Fatty, or listen here, Fatso. I would sort of have to say listen here, Skin.
Which, by the way, I do want to highlight that. If you're going for the flame, it actually is better just to say fat than it is to say fatty or fatso. So I'll give him that. Some people say that he caught himself before he said another word.
Yeah, to me it seems like he was catching himself.
Yeah.
Which is actually, I give Joe Biden credit. That is a cognitive advancement. Catching himself halfway through a gaffe instead of letting the gaffe come all the way out and make it all the way to the headline.
And really quickly, I'm going to pull up. I see some people. Here, I'll show you guys. I'm going to play because I sit around all day and do stuff like this to pass the time because I'm a weirdo. I actually slowed down the part where he says, listen here, fat. And I'll play it again. I want you guys to tell me what you hear. What you hear here. Where did I put this? I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second to pull it up. But seriously, I'll pull it up and I'll play it. I want you guys to tell me what you're hearing him say. I hear, listen here, fat. I mean, I don't. I'll play it again and again, but that is what I hear every time he says it. Here we go. So, play it again for you guys. I want you to tell me if you hear him say it. Dude, it's, in my opinion, clear as day, but whatever. Play it one more time. It's the slowed down version of the clip. Listen to this.
Okay.
Look, fat, look, here's the deal. Look, fat, look, here's the deal. Look, fat, look, here's the deal. Look, fat, look, here's the deal.
I mean, I
100%.
I hear
there's
fat.
I
hear the f and the t sound. So maybe there's another word that he's sneaking in there, but that is what I hear, man. So again, though, here's the thing: Joe Biden could say, "Look, it was a slip up. I didn't mean it. It was just a slip of tongue." You know what? Honestly, could he get away with saying it was a Freudian slip? And you know, the gentleman was larger than me, so I don't know. I don't know if you can get away with that. You probably can't, but. It doesn't mean that he was intentionally trying to be mean. Like I said, all the kids in the room definitely knew what he was saying. I'm like, oh my God, what did he do? However, it gets better.
Okay.
So, obviously, the media have been following the story as it was going on. And there was a minor media scrum around the individual. And I'll play the interview now. There's a 50-second interview I found on CBS of what he had to say about the exchange. So let's take a listen to what he had to say.
I'm not trying to cause him problems. I'm just trying to bring out all of this bullshit he's been telling here today is all softball stuff. We don't want to answer the hard stuff. He's been in the Congress all his life, and all of these problems like high drug prices and all of that. Where in the hell has he been for the last 50 years? So, and he's going to change it all now?
What do you think of the animosity Joe Biden showed you here today? The animosity, he was I would say he was pretty mean.
You bet, yeah. That's good. I at least he ain't so old that he's senile anyhow.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this guy got his 15 minutes.
Am I alone though? And wasn't amen a weird response to at least he isn't senile? I don't know. To me, at least
no. This is Iowa. You can say amen like in like the grocery store, and people probably give you a hallelujah.
I don't mean in that sense. I just mean in the sense of like, yes, thank God Joe Biden doesn't seem like who cares if he? I don't know if he is. Move on. He's an old man. Let him do whatever. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. He's like, amen. Like I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to go with there. I just thought it was a weird response. Instead of saying like, yeah, exactly, good to see him.
Hey, do you think that could be like a shirt now? Hey.
At least he doesn't see it now.
No. Hey, look here, fat.
Look here, fat.
You know, like, hey, look here, fat.
Look here, fat. Here's the deal. I don't know if
we say, okay, boomer. Can we just start saying, hey, look here, fat? And if people get angry, be like, I'm just quoting Joe Biden. I'm literally just quoting Joe Biden.
Well, like, someone oddly randomly had a good point. He said, fat is right. It was a fair question. It's mean but funny.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so the thing is, though, the weirdness with Joe Biden today, it doesn't end there. And I'm not going to clown on
Marion H. asks, did he mean that seriously or ironically? Which thing?
I mean, Joe Biden was, like I said, twice in that exchange, Joe Biden walked away, turned around, perked up, walked at him aggressively, like I said, when you aggressively walk towards someone, like while speaking very authoritatively like that, it's weird, man. It's weird. I don't know.
And they didn't know each other, right?
No.
They just met at that meeting.
If you can say they even met, he just asked him a question. He just said, hey, here's the weird thing too. Joe Biden kept saying, instead of saying those things they're saying about me are lies, Joe Biden kept saying they're not saying those things. I'm like, no, people are accusing you of putting your son in there. You could say it's not true, but they are making the accusation. Yeah. He's like, no one's saying that. MSNBC isn't saying that. It's like, wow. Anyway, Joe Biden has another plan to save the world, and we're going to listen to Joe Biden's life-saving or a planet-saving plan right here real quick. And we'll see what we think about Joe Biden's vision for the future.
All right,
one of the most important things we can do is, in fact, provide for inner city rail and high-speed rail. We can take millions and millions of vehicles off the road.
He believes that?
Millions of vehicles. Reducing the consumption of oil by tens of millions of barrels of oil over this period.
Show me the data.
And so one of the major initiatives I have in my proposal for global warming in the first
we will spark the second great railroad revolution.
Significantly increase light rail
after the first failed
rail
one.
That is high-speed rail. And we have the capacity to do that. It's all within our wheelhouse to be able to do that. For example.
Okay, so, I gotta admit, when people are saying that Joe Biden's policies are kind of old and out of date, advocating for more trains, I don't know if trains are actually the future. It's a little bit of a hard sell to me.
Do you know what one of the single biggest pork barrel projects, as voted by what's the organization that makes the Pinocchio Award? Come on, it's the Washington
Post.
Washington Post. There we are. I forget between New York Post, Washington Post, New York Times, Los Angeles Times. You know what I said? You have to mix and match your prefix and your suffix. But anyway, I think they voted Amtrak as the largest pork barrel project that has spanned the most amount of years and affected the most amount of states. You know what I'm saying? Like it is literally governmentally subsidized travel you still have to pay for and pay more for than any other form of transportation. There's very few people that benefited from it. On the East Coast, trains are a lot more popular and effective. But here on the West Coast, culturally, our cities are built around cars, not around public transportation. So we just don't do as well. I would like to go back to the Joe Biden thing, though, because JJ brought up a really good point. He said that was Joe trying to be cooler. Hold on, it just switched. I have to find it again. Okay.
No.
Trying to be cooler. He didn't say fat. He said PHAT, fat, meaning physically hot and tempting.
Wait, you mean like remember Meet the Parents? Oh, little Kim,
yeah.
She's fat. Remember that?
Yeah, like PHAT. You know, so I really just think
actually
the 90s. He's bringing the 90s back.
No, I want to tell you this. I think you got kidding. I want to pull it up exactly. I saw it. I've pulled up. Someone was just mentioning in chat. I guess I was like a senior advisor for Joe Biden. Said no. Joe Biden said, "Listen here, facts." No, he didn't, dude. He did not say facts. I can guarantee you Joe Biden did not. Maybe he meant to say that, but the facts are not the sound that came out of Joe Biden's mouth. He said fat, so.
Well, and who says look facts?
Yeah, look at your facts.
No, he said look fat.
He did. Which, again, as far as flame goes, that's a pretty good flame. Just to call someone fat like that, like a noun, it's pretty flame. But at the same time, it's also a really bad idea when you're running for president.
Brittany, we got a super chat. Want to shout it out?
Oh, okay. From Tang Yang.
Tang Yang.
you want me to read it?
Yeah, go for it.
What's up from Oroville, California? Love your show. Just feel like giving to y'all because y'all working hard for the Yang Gang.
Oh my God, thank you so much, man. Shout out
Thank
to
you.
Oroville, California. Or Canada, I guess, perhaps, right?
We're not
Probably
working hard for the Yang Gang, Tang. We are working hard on behalf of independent commentary and truth-seeking. It just happens to be that there are many convergences with the Yang Gang in that process.
Well, Andrew Yang is the candidate that needs that the most because they're kind of not the second most. Tulsi's worse because they hate Tulsi. They, they disrespect Yang and they hate Tulsi.
Hey, since our audience has said they like my little history things here, actually, I'll let the chat decide. I've got a really interesting historical context to give the cars versus trains argument that has to do with the difference between Oregon and also the difference between Los Angeles, because Katayoshi is talking about all the trains that are in Portland. If you guys want to hear it, I will gladly give it to you. I guess there's yes or no, because it's actually pretty interesting.
I'll give you a little. I'll drop some young people knowledge on you. Easier way to say it?
What?
Say this. Hey, you want to hear Cardin's train story? Get some ones in the chat. Some ones in the chat. If you don't, we'll get some twos.
Okay, cool. Calper says something interesting. LA expansion of Metro has been great.
It's the easiest way. Just ones and twos, man. He's ready to go.
Okay, but nobody. I don't know how to be cool like that, Cody.
It's not even cool. It's just I'm telling you. That's how streams work.
Okay, so anyway, actually, I might as well just say it because it's quick, pretty fast. The reason why so much public transportation has failed, especially in Southern California, is because culturally we are addicted to our cars. We're in a car culture. And it's not because we have some kind of addiction where we're turning away good public transport in order to have this individuality. It's because we're a lot more geographically spread out. We're not like crushed into Manhattan where, on a 20 block wide island, everybody fits. All right. We're very spread out. And interestingly, post World War II, when the city of Los Angeles was building what is now called the Miracle Mile on Wilshire, whenever you watch all those movies and they go to the LA County Museum of Art, or the La Brea Tar Pits, or the Peterson Museum, or whatever, the Museum of Modern Art, the Broad, all of that is on this thing called the Miracle Mile. And the developers that were building this big, huge, expansive, awesome project, similar to the developers that built Central Park, all right, they said, should we build it for public transit and subways, or should we build it to accommodate cars? And up until then, all the major cities were developing major public transit. But, Chevy and Ford and these big companies were coming out with these really seriously cool family sedans, and Suburbia was getting settled, and the cars were looking super cool, and they wanted to be able to showcase them on this place that had all kinds of nice new parking spots. So downtown Los Angeles was built in a very car-friendly way that disincentivized public transport, making it so that now we didn't just have to choose between public transport or private transport, but we became to depend and rely on private transport, so much so that we don't really have a good rail system except for the old rails that we have from like the 1870s. And it's actually kind of cool. You can go and look at the old maps of the railroads, and they follow a lot of the old Spanish like deer trails and like El Camino Real and stuff like that. Our freeways are such an organic mess because we're only following two things: the old 19th century railways and the old 17th and 18th century Spanish missionary trails to make all of our freeways. And that's why Southern California has such bad traffic problems, is because we eschewed public transport in order to have private transport. Now, it makes it cool because we're a car culture and that's fun. And your car is like, your steed in the wild, wild west. But, if you've lived in New York, you ever lived in New York, Cody? Or you ever lived in a city that's got big time public transport where you don't even need a driver's license?
I've been to New York. I don't think I will live there.
Okay. I love
the
New York.
city, not the state. The state's lovely. The city I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah, the state's pretty similar too. You can live in all the suburbs.
The state's like rural. There's rural parts of the state.
Well, I'm saying similar to us is what I meant to say.
Oh, sorry.
Living in Schenectady, where, Andrew Yang grew up, is going to be pretty similar to some suburb in California during the 90s. So, I oftentimes lament that we don't have more public transport. But do you know what the other thing that really keeps us from having good subways is, Cody?
probably that Los Angeles is a city that shouldn't be built where it was, so the foundation won't really allow for it. The ground isn't good for it.
We have so much scheist.
Yeah, it's not good.
You know
for
what
it.
I'm saying? That seismically everything crumbles. We've had 2 or 3 subway tunnels crumble.
I have a question. For any religious folk out there.
Yeah.
Isn't like the existence of the city of Los Angeles like an affront to God? The city should not exist where it is. It should not be the size it is.
Why is it an affront to God?
Because
it's the city of angels, dog.
Maybe not even God, but you could say it's an affront to Mother Nature. Geographically, Los Angeles shouldn't exist. The only reason Los Angeles exists is because back before we really paid attention to things, Los Angeles stole all of the Central Valley farmers' water and rerouted it. I'm telling you, like, if that didn't happen, Los Angeles wouldn't exist as we know it today. Like, it's a city that only exists because of a massive reroute of water from one place to another.
You could say that about Las Vegas, though.
Sure.
You could say that about half of all those half of unincorporated Broward County in Florida.
I agree. Well, like,
should not exist because they drain the Everglades.
We discussed Broward County is basically real life Twin Peaks. Like it's just like the stuff that happens in Broward County is not representative of real life in this county. No flame. I know how many people are watching. I guarantee you, one of the 300 people happen to live there. But I know flame to Broward County. I know someone who lives in Broward County, but.
Okay,
Dude,
hold on.
Why does everything happen in Broward County?
We got another super chat.
Tell me why everything happens in Broward County, and I'll lay off you.
Matthew Dominguez. I missed him. I know him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Missed my boys on here. He meant to say and girl. Yeah. Any good tacos lately?
Not super good. There's a chain place called Cafe Rio, and I tried their barbacoa the other day. It was actually pretty good, so I'll give them that.
That was the first time you've tried it?
I've never really been to Cafe Rio before.
Really?
Yeah, well, dude, it's mostly Chipotle, Qdoba, and then small independent places out here, you know?
Yeah. I like Wana Iguana.
Oh, Wana Iguana? That's very local, though. It's hyper local. It's a deep cut.
That's not a chain, right? That's just us?
There's like 2 or 3, but it's not like a chain. Like, you can't, like, there's one in, like, Dallas, you know?
Y'all are missing out then.
Hey. I knew it. There we go. So someone right here, 25 minutes in Broward. Like, dude, every time I know Broward County is basically.
That's where all my family is.
It's basically Twin Peaks. If I ever mention Broward County, I could be mentioning Broward County in a chat of 15 people and be like, dude, Broward County's great. Someone would be like, hey, what the hell, man? I'm from Broward. It's like, how, dude? How are you from there? It's like, I get it. It's like what, northern part of Miami? I think it's part of the Miami area, but oh my god, I don't know. Debbie
Wasserman Schultz rules Broward County.
You know what? I was waiting for a better time to pull it out. I gotta pull this out. This is a amazing thing right here. Amazing thing right here. So, and you know what? I know a lot of you guys aren't in here. Some of you guys are former Bernie fans. Some of you guys probably aren't former Bernie fans. Probably goes both ways, right? However, a lot of you guys know that Bernie Sanders kind of had the primary stolen from him in 2016. I'm going to read to you an excerpt from it's an opinion piece, but what they're quoting in the opinion piece is actually from the court documents. For those of you who don't know, there's a class action lawsuit filed against the DNC. Basically, people saying, look, I donate money to this organization with the understanding it's for a fair democratic process, and I donated the money to you because I wanted Bernie Sanders to go far, and you guys ripped it from him. Like this, there was a lawsuit on this in the court. I want to read this quote and all of the link. You guys want to read the link? And you know what? I'll tell you, full disclosure, The Observer, it's owned by Jared Kushner, but this quote right here, it's not from Jared Kushner. It is from a court document. So this is according to the court. The court continued, quote, for their part, the DNC and Wasserman Schultz have characterized the DNC's charter promise of impartiality and even-handedness as a mere political promise, political rhetoric that is not enforceable in federal courts. The court does not accept the trivialization of the DNC's governing principles. While it may be true in the abstract that the DNC has the right to have its delegates go into back rooms like they used to, the DNC through its charter has committed itself to a higher principle. So again, in the fallout of the 2016, not only did they rig the primary for Hillary went on to lose to Trump, and the ceiling fell in and the floor fell out. It was a disaster. In court, lawyers representing the DNC, specifically Wasserman Schultz, basically tried to argue that any impartiality and even-handedness is mere rhetoric and not actually something they federally are responsible to live up to. Now, mind you, a lot of these people are no longer in charge of the DNC. A lot of things have changed since then. But I just want to show you guys, this wasn't 1987. This was 2017, right? Where they were saying, look, look, any rhetorical devices we use to tell people we actually, and I love that the court actually isn't. And again, I just want to tell you guys what happened here. According to the court, was the court actually had to correct the DNC and say, "I'm sorry, we're not going to let you argue that you don't have to live up to your own charter." Like, I love how it's like they're not even arguing that they're federally responsible. They were just like, the DNC definitely has to live up to their own charter. Like, we're going to hold them responsible. There's a federal law that binds them. We can get into legal arguments about this. I'm sure some legal scholars out there can tell me more, but I'm just telling you guys that right there. I'll have the link in the description. That is what the DNC thinks, is that any mere rhetorical devices they use to tell you guys that it's a legit thing they have here, it's merely that. They're merely rhetorical devices, and they're merely political speech. They're not real. So that is how Wasserman Schultz felt when she was in the wrong end of a class action lawsuit. So
rock on, keep going, dude.
I mean, there's a whole lot more to say. I just thought that was really funny. I wanted to bring that up. Oh, I forgot something to bring up here. So 1 second. So,
did you have a carbonated drink and you're burping now all the time?
I'm not burping, but I need to clear my throat, so to speak. Anyway, I guess I'll shout out this. I think it's pretty cool. So, my friends over on Twitter, Rashard Lloyd for Congress. Some of you guys probably recognize him. He had a pretty cool idea. I thought I'd share it. It'd be pretty interesting. He was talking about, so he says, Yang Gang, I've got 9-1 in my hands. I'm in the process of negotiating with my absolute favorite black nerds based on the internet. I'm working to convince them to expand their political activities by doing interviews with UBI supporters and Yang surrogates. A few pictures you can see here. It's the Urban Anime Lounge, and they just started their account, I'm assuming. Or they started a while ago, but they've posted one video, has a few views, and he was going through. So he was wondering, he wants to, like we said, we're trying to get Delaney monetized. I just wanted to shout this out. I'm going to show you guys, here's the YouTube channel. I'm going to post a link. If you guys want to give him a follow and check him out. I don't know, man. I got to think. If you're pro Yang and you watch anime, I don't know. Even though I don't watch anime, I've always had a kindred spirit with anime fans. So I figured I'll shut that out real quick. So he's a cool guy. Want to help him out. See if you guys want to follow.
Boom.
And speaking of,
I think I got to tell you that's God's work, getting Delaney monetized.
Well,
I think that brother's got a good heart. We just need to help him out.
While we're here,
for
those of you guys that didn't join us yesterday,
we just need to help him out.
For anyone familiar with YouTube, I'm sure you're familiar with the verification. And it's not. I don't want to say it's like they only verify the million, because it's not true. They verify all kinds of accounts, smaller and larger. However, I have to admit, I had never seen a YouTube account verified, and I get why he's running for president. But dude, he's got 618 subscribers. Like, he's not even, like, according to the rules, I don't think he technically should be able to monetize his channel yet. And like I said, if you guys want to show John, I'll throw a link to him. Y'all want to show John Delaney some love? By all means. I mean, I'll highlight a different thing. Last time we checked the comments on one of his videos, I'm gonna check the comments on another. There was mean comments on one of his videos, so we'll check the comments on. I don't even know what this is.
Marianne H was saying, "Wait, is John still running?" Delaney, I mean.
John Delaney will never drop out. So here we go. Let's read some comments on John Delaney. So I love how in one flattering screenshot, Delaney is walking in front of a large group of Bernie supporters. Really says it all. He gets clowned on, and I feel so bad. This is a third. Look at. Hold on a second. I'll play this video clip in its entirety. It's 33 seconds long. Let's check it out.
The way we win is by putting forth a candidate who can build a big tent Democratic Party. Progressives, moderates, independents, even Republicans. So we need a more moderate candidate to actually beat Donald Trump. And then we'll start talking about ideas. I mean, look, I'm the only candidate who supports President Obama's effort to put in place the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I'm the only one. Yet we...
That's the photo in question, which is pretty embarrassing. That's kind of a card, and check that out. Isn't it kind of shade to use this picture when a guy's speaking? Come on.
How is that shade? He looks ripped.
Because he isn't Bernie Sanders. He's walking in front of.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh no, there's John. There's one.
There's a couple here.
There's one T-shirt.
Unfortunately for John Delaney, his stuff looks just like Bernie stuff. But yeah, there's a couple.
No,
poor guy, poor Delaney's.
You are what? This is why we call
trade
you
wars that Trump's put in place, and we see what's happening with isolationist trade policies. So these are the things that I think are going to start coming into sharper focus.
Okay, so that was just another thing. I have a better question for you guys. What do you think this YouTube video is called?
Oh,
what do they call? What do you think he titled this video? What do you guys think he titled it?
I don't know. It's a good question. Hit me.
Let I'll give you guys a second to guess. What you possibly think. I guess, you know what? I'll spoil it. Clearly, you would title this Rahul 828. Clearly, right? That's what you would title this video. Shout out Matthew Dominguez. All three of you are the boys. Delaney is yoked.
Oh, dude, he is yoked.
But, dude, what does that mean? I was reading. I have to admit, the only reason why I clicked on this video is because I was like, what the? Rule 828? I get the 828 is probably referring to a date. What does rule mean? Dude, what is he talking about? Rahul? Is it Ru? I have no idea what that is. Anyway, shout out to John Delaney's non-existent YouTube game. And like I said, the comments are never favorable, even though he doesn't have any. Oh, I love this one from 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Please stop running.
Oh,
dude, you
no.
Dude, you don't even have a chance. Why are you even talking about the Democrats can win? You can't even get 20 people. Why do people go to John Delaney's personal YouTube account and clown on him? I don't get it. Don't get it. They just clown on my man. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on him too much because I get it. Oh, wait. John Delaney started the discussion. There's 7 replies in this comment. Someone says, big tent? You mean capitulate to Republicans?
Hey, there's some really, really hilarious observations here. Vistatronic says Delaney looks like those old men from testosterone commercials that are all jacked. It's so true. Look at that, dude.
He does.
He looks like the guy that's going to sell you protein packs over at 24 Hour Fitness, man.
GNC?
Yeah, man.
Wait, hold on. We have another super chat from Matthew Dominguez.
What up?
He said, all 3 of you are the boys. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
And Delaney is yoked.
He is yoked.
Oh, wait, we read that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah, we read it, but it's all good.
Here we
Sorry,
go.
it just popped up on
Here's
mine.
John Delaney at the Iowa State Fair and Soapbox. Yeah, go check it out. Check it out. Delaney, right? Yeah, that's my guy. Hey, he's got a shirt on. That guy's Delaney shirt.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know. Delaney seems nice. Honestly, he doesn't seem like a Democrat to me.
Congressman.
Yeah. Congressman John Delaney.
He's got a good smile.
Yeah, he kind of seems more like a folksy kind of. Where's he a congressman from? He seems like he would be a suburban Texan.
You know what's sad?
A suburban Texan or
I
a
like
suburban.
John Delaney.
That the next president has to step forward and address.
Or like some kind of Midwest. Where's he from?
Restore a sense of common purpose to who we.
I don't know. He is.
I think he's Californian, isn't he? Because he got booed at the.
No, not California. Not John Delaney. John Delaney. I believe John Delaney is from. Oh God, I actually caught myself this time. Whoop.
Where did he get booed when he said that we need to not get rid of private insurance? What would you do with?
That would have been California, but I don't know if it was him who said it. He is Maryland.
Maryland.
No one cares about this guy. How many people he represent? Watch there somehow be someone from Maryland watching.
So it was him and
now.
Elijah Cummings all those years, man.
I guess Baltimore's a big city.
It's like both of them.
I'll take that back. I have no idea. I have no idea what John Delaney is doing. By the way, though, John Delaney is educated at Georgetown University Law, Columbia, and Bergen Catholic. He is married to April Delaney, 56 years of age, born April 16th. So shout out Mr. Delaney. He's also worth $300 million and by all accounts in phenomenal shape. So,
all right, awesome.
Shout out.
Coastal Yang Gang says, I think Cody has a legit man crush. Mm-hmm. And Marianne H says, now I want burgers. I don't know. I think it's fair to say man crush. I'm okay with I man crush a little bit on John Delaney.
I'm favorable towards him. I'm favorable towards Delaney because I feel like he gets slept on and disrespected, and it's not fair. People go into YouTube videos that have 150 views and clown on him. That sucks, man. And
okay.
He's like I said, though. He's like John Delaney always. At the end of the day, he's in great shape, and he's worth $300 million. I'll never feel that bad for the guy.
So, we got another super chat. Birdie, shout it out.
Matthew Dominguez again. Thank you.
Nice.
I had a dream last night about buying my first firearm. Then it slowly turned into a nightmare involving bureaucracy and never-ending paperwork. Thoughts?
Hey, pretty much, man.
Oh.
Pretty much, man. Yeah. Well, welcome to the future of everything. There's the. There was just we were talking about a few weeks ago. Our boy Zoltan Istvan, who will be running for president. Hopefully, we'll speak with him soon. And basically, the idea of once the transhuman idea that eventually will eradicate natural death. Which, I don't know. But imagine a world where you'll never die of old age or disease. And the only way to die naturally is to petition the government and go through government bureaucratic red tape to petition for your right to die. I'm not saying that's what he's advocating for, but I'm just saying, like, dude, I mean, I don't know. My point is, I can imagine one day everything being behind bureaucratic red tape. And I think that's...
Well, that's kind of what they're going for, to be honest with you. Is like, for example, they're trying to do that in California right now with the pest control industry. They're trying to just make the regulation so thick that you can't have a private pest control company. And everything has to be administered by the county agricultural department. So they're going to make will be a massive secondary DMV. Because, like, if you think about it, there's no way to privately procure your Department of Motor Vehicles registration. There's no way to privately procure it. You can get different kinds of licenses for scuba diving privately procured, but you can't get different types of registration for the roads privately procured because the government has monopolized that and ended that industry. So they're trying to do all kinds of things, and that's how you slowly march towards socialism. That's why us wise elder millennials need to constantly warn against it. All right? It's our duty, dog.
I hear it. I hear it. No, but it's sorry, I get distracted watching someone else.
Hold on, I have a cool
please.
JFB. He said, I'm wondering, how did Cody and Cardin meet?
Oh, that's a good question.
We've done it a couple times, but
it was on Grindr.
Yeah. I think every time you make that same joke. I used to work at a radio.
Oh, but it doesn't get old. I
used to work at a radio station. Cardin had a show at the radio station, and I was assigned to be his board operator.
Wow, that's okay. Can I say a little bit slightly more glamorous?
It was
and
cuter than that.
That was literally that was literally though.
I was assigned to be his board op. It sucked.
I was roped into it.
Can you say that? Say it with smoking a cigar next time you do it. Just like, I met this guy. That was his board op.
I made no inferences. It's just that is literally what happened. I worked at a radio station. I was board operating your show, and that is how I met you. That's literally chain of events.
Yes. So anyway,
actually, I'm lying. We took a train one day, and then the train was gonna be late, and I told the train, you gotta wait for this stranger I've never met before. And then he came on and said, hey, my name's Cardin. I said, hey, Cardin, I'm Cody. That's how we met.
Yeah. Can I say the more sentimental version?
Yes.
Okay. I had a show. Well, we still have the show, actually, on FM 98.1, Problem Solver Politics, in which me and a super boomer co-host named Mark Murphy, registered Democrat, would, joke and analyze local, state, and national politics once a week, Sundays from 7 to 8 p.m. However, Cody was assigned to be our board operator, the one that's bringing us in and out of commercials, is making sure everything's, on point and on time and so on and so forth. And as we all became friends, me and Cody both had this mutual desire to do more programming and a frustration.
Well, hold on. That's just, you got to pay for that answer. How we met's free. How we started the show. That's a moolah. Just kidding.
Oh, that's a moolah. Okay, I was not going to say. Well,
that's a super chat.
I didn't realize that. Oh, yeah, that's a super chat, man. No, I'm just kidding. So what happened was we both kind of had a desire to do a little bit, to continue more of the conversation instead of like 1 hour, which is exactly 44 minutes of talk time in a Sunday time slot to, something we could do daily and something that was a little bit more national. And so I was like, dude, I'll invest in this big time. And Cody, you came over here. I give Cody credit. He puts sweat equity into this, and construction is not his thing, all right?
Surprisingly.
The keyboards and the technical stuff is his thing. But he came over here, and he helped me literally build from scratch a crappy studio in this small space we were able to procure. And by small space, I mean small. You can literally see all of it in our studio cam. And, so we built this studio for like a month, which extended into like 2 months. And then boom shakalaka, our first video went up March what? It's like March 14th or something, right? March 4th? It was early March.
I believe so. Sorry, can I say one thing? It's not relevant at all, but
okay.
The cameraman John Delaney Page really does use a nice camera, doesn't he? Or a lens at least. Look at that card.
Oh yeah, dude, like he's paying a videographer.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
This guy's got some game.
Yeah, so I'll look up our first video really quickly in the meantime. I just happened to switch over to YouTube and I caught Delaney's guns. I'm like, you know what, dude? Delaney.
Wasn't our first video the conservative case for the freedom dividend?
No.
Or who is Andrew Yang and what is the freedom dividend?
Yes, our first video.
That was our first video. Yeah.
It's gonna take me a while to scroll down there, so you can talk for a minute.
Dean Lute, these guys honestly seem like good friends. I say we become good friends.
Yeah, we're friends. We hang out. We work together literally we work together 7 days a week. So
Hey,
yes, we're friends.
JFB just super chatted and got your secret sauce.
Oh.
Brittany, what's he say?
No, I love the detailed answer. LOL.
And you were pretty close, Card. March 14th, 2019. Who is Andrew Yang and what is the freedom dividend?
Boom shakalaka.
Which, by the way, was not a very popular video at all, but that was our first video ever posted.
Okay, so another one, Brittany.
You can actually see some old stuff there. That's funny.
From McAdee, love from Ohio. I still walked at the Atlanta debate rally and plan to do the same for the LA debate. Will I be seeing you guys there? Ground game hype.
McAdee.
And by the way, I think I saw you on Twitter.
A stilt walker.
Most assuredly, you'll be seeing us in the debates in Los Angeles. Yes, we'll be there.
Whoa, a stilt walker. That's pretty cool. That's like the guys that are like, what is your persona? You know how Cody has his Dota characters? What is your persona that you're stilt walking for, my man? You got to tell me. Do you stilt walk as like Uncle Sam? Do you stilt walk as Andrew Yang? Do you stilt walk as a dollar bill, the freedom dividend? What do you stilt walk as? Joe Biden? You know, do you look like Joe Biden if you put on a wig?
Please,
you know,
please no.
Who do you stilt walk as? Vistatronic points out that I did just say boom shakalaka and gave me an okay boomer. Ouch. But actually, it's not an ouch because it's play on words, boom shakalaka. I get it now, Vistatronic. Dad joke goes to 11. I'm loving it. And then, let me see. Anya Erim is back. Hey, small studio means fantastic acoustic control. You're actually, Anya, you've been with us for a long time. I recognize your name. I believe that we see you on Discord often as well. And you got to go and watch our first, I'd say, you don't have to watch all first 10 videos, but listen to the opening, just 10 seconds of the first 10 to 20 videos. And then we had my, what's it called? My space was also doubling as a storage unit. And we had to take out all the stuff, and all of a sudden it got super echoey. And we had 2 or 3 podcasts that sounded like they were in an echo chamber. So we had to build all these really cool acoustic sound control gizmos that you see all over the studio.
You can't see them in that shot either.
Oh, you can't see them? Dang it. Yeah.
Actually, you sort of can. Directly above me, if you look at the very top of the frame, you'll notice a slight different texture. That's one of them. It's hard to see, though.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but we had to put 25 different acoustic sound panels in here that we built with our own insulation, burlap, and 1x4s. In fact, I was thinking about making a DIY video about how to do it and just showing you the before and after. It's actually pretty dang cool. So, anyway, if he's doing Biden on stilts, says Vistatronic, those are some long, hairy legs.
Dude, I will admit, the Biden senile thing is kind of like a meme and kind of like a joke and stuff, right?
That is so funny.
That Biden rant was the first time I saw him speak, and I was like, this guy is just gone. I mean, it sounded like someone speaking a different language or it sounded like, when you hear someone speaking a language, I think German's one of them, or I think French too, where they have a lot, I forgot the word for it, but it's like when a word sounds the same and means the same thing in 2 different languages, I kind of catch a couple words here and there. That's what it sounded like with Biden, where I'm like, I get the words, I know what he's saying, but dude, what is he going on about? I literally have seen him go in that speech 3 or 4 times. I don't know what he means at all. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what he's speaking about. I don't know what kind of context could help me. It's just confusing and bizarre. So that was the first time I was like, oh, dang. Biden's yikes. I've been kind of clowning on him, but that was the first time I was like, oh, wait. Because if I'm clowning on an old guy who's senile, I'm going to feel bad. You know what I mean? I kind of want to make sure he actually is or isn't. That was the first time he might be, man.
Stephen Yeats got told yesterday in a company harassment class that calling people boomer is not okay.
That's uncalled for, man. You got to, okay, here.
What? We got to stop that crap. If you don't like somebody, what are you supposed to say? Okay, person who does not as quickly pick up things that are found commonplace amongst those who are younger.
Can you call people fats instead? What are you supposed to call them, man?
I think we should bring back fats. Joe Biden just did.
Could you call them corn pops? Here's the thing ultimately about derogatory terms. It's always it's the reason why it's better to attack the reasons why people use them than the terms themselves. You could just keep making them. Fine, I won't say boomer. I'll say, and you come up with something else.
Okay, so Schmitty030 is bringing us back to our original conversation topic, Andrew Yang. and wants thoughts on the Andrew Yang anime opening.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, we've showed it a couple times there. It's awesome.
And if you guys haven't seen our video, we just did a review on not the anime opening, the new video game that was put out on. It's going to be put out on Steam by who was the video game producer? Cody, do you remember offhand?
I can pull up. No, I can pull up on Twitter. Matt,
that looks
I want to
really
say Matt
fun.
Or Matt was the first name. I forgot what. Yeah.
In fact, we were thinking about having a PSP video game tournament.
Well, I'm going to do pretty soon.
Or we play
Hold
it
on.
somewhere
For
with everybody.
Any of you guys listening, I will do probably before the next debate in December. I'm going to do a. Let me know if you guys are interested. I'll do it over on Twitch, but I'm going to do a Fire Pro Wrestling battle royale with all of the Democrats who are running. So let me know if you guys are
Mike
interested.
Ward brings up a really good point. He says they are not fat, just too short for their weight. So wouldn't that be the best, most euphemistic way to call somebody fat now? Just be like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, that dress just makes you look a little bit too short for your weight.
Or you can,
Please don't ever say that to me.
there's the what was it? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He used to always say, "No, I'm accumulating mass." Is what I'm doing. I'm cultivating mass. Cultivating mass is a good one. They gotta make it. Well, hold on. I was talking with someone the other day. I know a guy personally in real life who. I don't know the real numbers, but he made money. Like, it was financially viable for him to start a website called TrumpSingles.com.
Oh, yeah, we interviewed him.
Why haven't we done, or not we, but the royal we, as I, or anyone, done YangSingles.com? Why is Yang Singles not a real thing?
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
it would get all this drama off Twitter, hopefully, because people will take their dating off Twitter to other places. One, and two, it's a place for you. Here's the reason why. I'll tell you why it won't actually happen.
Okay.
The real reason why Trump Singles worked is because non-Trump voters would not date Trump voters. I think Warren or Sanders or independents will date Yang voters. You know what I mean? Like, there's a sense like if you're voting for Trump, you're kind of giving up your dating life. So
dude, I dated a Delaney voter.
My point.
He's like a nice guy. You don't think somebody has to be crazy?
I know right here.
I'm
not saying now, babe. I'm just saying
curious, I'm very curious about the demographic. I feel like Delaney.
I couldn't date a Kamala supporter.
No, but Delaney's probably got like an 80% male support base. I've never in my life once seen a woman support John Delaney. Only men.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Bird. Here's a question for you. What does Andrew Yang have to do? What does Andrew Yang have to do to get more women of the women vote, or no, to get more women votes or women to vote? Oh, grammatically, I just butchered that. Okay. But what's he got to do to outreach to more ladies? Vistatronic says lovers for Yang, #miracle whip. Anyway, keep going.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. There's not really a centralized.
I don't think there's like a topic. Like, I don't think there's a hit thing that'll get. I don't know.
When do you and your friends? Oh, actually, I shouldn't say you and your friends.
Wait, hold on. Should he? What if he did maybe this would be a bit younger, a little bit too young. But what if Andrew Yang did his next rally from like a Sephora or a Mac?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that those are two stores I've walked into and seen overwhelmingly females.
Yeah.
And they are crowded always.
Well, it's because they're makeup companies. Well, and you're not off track.
Would that not come across as the ultimate pandering if Andrew Yang went to a Sephora for like why?
Yeah, I think that'd be like trying too hard.
Yeah.
One
second. Josh Ring said, "Do our super chat thoughts on the Axelrod interview? We haven't seen it yet. Tomorrow we'll tell you guys about it."
Yeah, that's actually the video we're doing after this live stream. Well, actually, it's not that we haven't seen it yet. We read the transcript for it.
No, the Axel one was in Chicago today. No, not the Rolling Stone.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
The Axel we were working. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll watch it for tomorrow.
Yeah. So anyway, we will definitely be. Well, actually, we're gonna give a shout out in the video that we do on it to Josh Ring. Oh, that's gonna be an easy one to remember. Oh, I think Josh Ring is the one that gave us the solution is greater than revolution meme in our chat a while ago. Josh, tell us if we are wrong, but I think that was you. I think this is the graphic that came up and the person that responded to that. So anyway, Yang Gang Singles seems like it's a success in the chat. How much would it cost the membership? Would it be $1,000 a month? Would it
no, I'm sorry. Someone just said something great in chat. He said, "What if you date a pizza? What if you date a Pete Buttigieg supporter, and they want to dance?"
Oh,
No,
dude.
you get it? You get it, right?
I don't
get it.
I don't get
Oh,
it.
it's the high hopes for a living.
I believe this is a 10-minute long video. Oh no, it's the Chapo Trap Housers. I have no idea who these people are. Actually, I know they exist, but I don't know who they are. I know they're popular channel on YouTube. I don't know much about it, so I'm trying to find a video that's more in line with the high hopes dance. If you guys haven't seen the high hopes dance, it is my favorite comment on the high hopes dance is that Donald Trump's going to be president for the next 100 years. Isn't he? Like, if this is more, here we go. Here's the high hopes dance. If none of you people have seen it, and I like this version of the clip because it's very unambiguously a Pete Buttigieg thing. So here we go, guys.
I'm kind of scared.
We're gonna go high hopes.
Oh, this was big last week. Look at the shorts on that guy, dude. Look at the shorts on the dude in the middle.
So here we go. So,
those shorts are a
hold
thing
on.
of legend.
So when you're on a date with a Pete Buttigieg supporter and they want to dance.
Look at those shorts. Oh, man.
I don't get this at all. Is this really what they think people want? Is this how you win the White House?
Dude, hey, you've never been to the Midwest, dog?
Clearly. I've clearly never been to the Midwest.
No, dude, look. Okay, you see those shorts that guy's wearing? It's just for crazy, zany attention.
Oh, I know, but the dance. What's the dance?
Okay, no, but this is what they do at, like, Christian camps, dude.
They do this high hopes dance all across the country for Pete.
No, yeah, but no, I know. Well, the Buttigieg campaign has.
Yeah.
But, like, if you ever go to, like, Christian camps or youth, what are they called? Youth retreats and stuff like that. You always get those, like, cool and edgy counselors that, like, sit down and say, dude, I'm going to tell you the coolest story ever. Book of Matthew. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, they like, not edgelord the gospel, but they, like, they make the gospel edgy and cool, and everything has to be modernized. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, that's kind of like that goofy Midwestern thing, And so it doesn't surprise me that the campaign made a goofy dance that all the interns and volunteers have to do. It's like when you go to the MLM rallies or you go to the the business meetings and they want you to do like a chant. And so like that is like the breadbasket of America, dog. And that's probably why Pete Buttigieg is honestly doing so well in Iowa.
Wait, that's an official thing? It wasn't just a group of people that got together?
No,
High
all
hopes,
the Buttigieg team like
High
straight
hopes
up
is like
does
a
it.
thing. Yeah, it's like a thing to do the high hopes dance.
You were a cheerleader. Come on, babe. 1 year. Just admit to it. Just admit to it. That looks like something you do on the cheer squad.
No.
Exactly. Not what you do when you're running for president. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay, so Nate Johnson says most people I know in the Midwest don't do this. Well, you're saying your friends don't walk around in those shorts, Nate Johnson? Come on, man.
Wait, we got some. We like to do meme lore on our channel when we have a chance. We got some meme lore here on the high hopes dance.
Okay, what's the meme lore? Pete Buttigieg high hopes dance was designed by an intern. I told you.
Of course.
Designed by an intern. And where is that intern from? Guaranteed somewhere between Milwaukee and Des Moines.
Wait, so
somewhere between Milwaukee and Des Moines.
A few months ago, the world had yet to experience it. Sometime in October, it began to take hold. By November, it was everywhere. As videos of supporters of Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg doing a choreographed dance to his campaign hype song, High Hopes. Yes. The one question no one could answer was who was responsible. That is the question I had. Who was responsible for this thing on my screen? The answer is both surprising and surprisingly obvious. An intern within a system of volunteer. Multiple sources have confirmed University of Chicago student Charlie Rollison came up with the viral choreography for the chorus while interning for the campaign over the summer. Rollison did not respond to multiple requests for comment. I love multiple. Please tell us.
Are you the choreographer of this beautiful and amazing bit of pop culture?
Please respond. She did approve a reporter's request to follow her locked Twitter account, however, where she has referenced creating the moves, which at least one person has called the wing ding dance routine.
Wing ding dance routine.
On several occasions. Woo! Wow. I can't believe and yeah, look what she confirms it. I can't believe the dance I made up while gooning around in the office was just covered by ABC. Can I put professional cheerleader on my resume? So this does seem more or less confirmed it was this individual who came up with it.
Hezekiah Crocker says we need an anti-high hopes dance. Yeah, what's the Yang Gang's dance going to be?
No music in that one, so I'll just play it.
Tiny High Hopes dancer.
Okay,
Look,
wait.
see, they're
You know
doing
what?
it.
This whole
that's where
this
it
whole
was
tweet with Chasten replying with the played out phony, the played out shot. I mean, You know what? If you're going to try to just corny your way into the White House, this is the way you do it.
This is America, man.
By having people dance around, jump around like morons to a Panic at the Disco song.
Panic at the Disco lead singer's Mormon.
Well, he is the whole band now, actually.
Yeah.
There we go.
Dude, look at this, man.
I've been forced to see this, so all of you are going to be forced to watch this as well.
Okay, no, but listen, I have a theory behind this. Are you ready for the theory? I'm going to drop some military wisdom on you.
Okay.
Before Brittany reads out a super chat. Do you know why they do such embarrassing things to all of the privates in boot camp in the military?
No, I get it. I mean, it's like
it's because you have to strip away your ego.
No, I get it, yeah.
And obedience has to be trained, and obedience is the number one thing that you do in the military if you're going to succeed at war.
You know what I want to see?
So nobody has ego left after this dance. After that move.
Yeah, I
that
agree.
move jumping is where the ego goes away. I'm okay with the hand rolls. I'm okay with the hand rolls. I'm okay with the booty pushes. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with all of that. But the second that you come around from the kickball change and you come around from this thing and you just go, hey, 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 that's where your ego is just out the door. And the best part,
it's a great ego
is
killer.
They're like jumping when they're like, hey, hey. I mean, they are committed, dude.
A lot of it's a great. Well, here's the thing I was gonna say. I feel like what I'd rather say. What would you do though if like
AI Jan says stop or I unsubscribe?
No, but seriously, what would happen if the inverse of this happened and you saw a bunch of political supporters get around? Like seriously, what if not Yang supporters, but let's say John Delaney supporters, right? Got around, did a circle, and just started running like an Oklahoma drill to support their candidate. What would you say about that though? The inverse of the dance.
What would the inverse of the dance is?
No, like I said, what if, like, seriously, like Oklahoma drill, you ever seen the football drill where you basically have a circle and two guys, one guy stands in the middle and he's looking at someone runs and hits him? They actually ban it at a lot of schools because like it messes with kids' heads. Like, But anyway, I want to see that for commitment. But anyway, I want to get to some super chats. Or Brittany, you want to read super chats? Going back with, I believe, Dean Lute would be the most recent.
Yep, I'm scrolling back. Okay, he said, thanks for sharing the behind the scenes. Y'all have great balance. Hashtag Team Brittany the Shadow. Just kidding. He said Team Cody.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
And then, we have some more. I'm scrolling. I think we read this one. Nate Johnson, Cardin, please don't label this a Midwest thing. And then
I like Nate Johnson. He's a cool guy.
Horizon the Alien, scroll up from my question. I watch your videos on notification every day. Keep killing it.
Well, thank you. I'm looking for your question right now. If you want to just re-ask it, it's probably the easiest way. I apologize. It's harder for you. But I'm struggling to find it yet. So just re-ask it and we'll get to it, man.
And then Ohio Hammer Network. It was the first inaugural Buttigieg date night party. Notice they are all still single.
You know what? Though, hold on. I would say if you want to prevent drama, like interpersonal drama between like people and your like support staff, a great way is to make them all get together and do that dance. Nobody will have any romantic thoughts about anybody after doing that dance next to them. Holy cow! I just thought that's one of my favorite things of the election is the Pete Buttigieg. Like, how could you not say you are the corny, upper class, out of touch white guy candidate when all your supporters get together and do a choreographed Panic at the Disco's dance? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how could you say that's not true? No, I'm hip. I'm with the kids. It's like that is the corniest things. That's the gobbledygook. Okay, no gobbledygook.
So Josh Ring's got another super chat. Hit it, Brittany.
I would definitely do the Oklahoma drill for Yang.
There we go. See, that's what I mean, man.
What's the Oklahoma drill?
I'll pull it up.
He'll pull up a video.
You guys have seen Oklahoma drill. It's a very popular not college football in general drill where, like I said, guys get around in the circle. It's, like I said, Oklahoma drill's pretty gnarly. Actually, it's not always in a circle. This is them, but like normally they'll have guys circle around. Here's a good picture of it, but I'll show you guys Oklahoma drill is. So I mean, imagine this card. Remember we went to the First in the West dinner?
Yeah.
Imagine if you see everyone like banging drums or whatever, then you look over and you see a bunch of people doing this. Tell me which fan base you're gonna be like. By the way, shout out, go Sooners! It's Oklahoma drill.
Oh, I thought a guy was just sitting by himself.
You line
and
up.
Then
you just line up directly in front of someone and hit him.
Oh wow.
This is different. This is actually bad. This is from 2013, dude. I'm telling you, they've had to. I love this. The whole point of the Oklahoma drill is to get your players to basically fight each other and to get them to get over the fear of getting hit. That's the whole point of the drill. Everyone's watching, and you got to just line up directly in front of someone, look them eye to eye, and hit them like that. And fight them in the middle of the circle. And then whoever wins, and you get clowned at. And guys fight each other. And like I said, it's ultimately something they're trying to work out. But like I said, man, you go to a rally, you got a bunch of people in Yang hats lining up across the other going, Oklahoma drill? I'm telling you, man, you want to put the fear in the hearts of your opponent? That's how you do it.
You know, at some point, I really think
look at you got to line up you got to line up in front of a guy inches away. Dude's 350 pounds, really quick. Look him dead in the eye and then fight him in front of everyone. That's what that is.
Okay, so what's interesting is somebody said in the chat, I lost it in the scroll, but Andrew Yang would never do anything to let himself get embarrassed so badly as the high hope stance. I don't find it embarrassing. I find it endearing. But I do think it's cool that we got breakdancers. I can't see another campaign that has many
B-boys for Yang.
Yeah, B-boys for Yang. I don't see B-boys for Buttigieg. I don't see B-boys for Biden. I don't see B-boys for Kamala. There might be some cool Paulies coming in from Hawaii doing B-boys for Tulsi. I had some really cool Polynesian friends that were B-boys growing up, but I'm not seeing any B-boys hitting it with any other campaign. We got the B-boys, so we're just cooler. Anyway,
okay, hold on. Horizon the Alien posted his question.
Ooh, hit him.
He said, "My question is, how do you feel about Yang's comments a while back on Biden and quote working with him closer? Some people jump to conclusions saying, see, he would work with establishment candidates."
I think a lot of it comes from. I think with all of Biden's goofiness, I think he does somewhere in there. The guy has served. Actually, I hold that against him. He served out for 20 years. But I mean, I think he legitimately cares on a level that some can't. I think Biden cares about the country more than himself because he's just an old man who's been in this forever. He's already been VP. So I think he sees what Yang's ideas are as more interesting. So I think Yang sees it as, if Biden goes far and he likes me, I'll play ball. Why not? Biden isn't evil. I think he's kind of dumb. I don't think Biden's evil. I don't think Biden's out to enrich himself. I think he's probably doesn't need to be running. But here's the thing for Yang though, is that Biden's still influential and popular and leading in the polls. It makes sense for Yang to say, hey, if this guy likes me. Like I said, it's not like he's evil. There's nothing wrong with playing along with Joe Biden if he likes you. I mean, what if Yang is brought on as Biden VP, right? So, like I said, I think a lot of it comes from the fact that Biden actually just objectively looks at what Yang's talking about, and he's been in this long enough and he's old enough where he doesn't have to be as ego-driven, and he can go, wow, those are good ideas, man. I wish I thought of them. I want to talk to you more about them, and I think that's a cool thing.
Okay, another super chat. It says, Biden's dance would be the truffle shuffle to Weird Al's I'm Fat.
Oh, and further down, I'm going to piggyback onto this. Further down, somebody said they would have to choreograph leg rubs. Leg rubs into that. Because I'm fat, you know it, I'm fat. Except we'd have to change the lyrics so it goes, because you're fat, listen fat, hey fat, listen fat, you know it, hey, rub my legs. Or something like that.
Oh my
Sorry, but again, exactly. I think it's just because Biden, I don't personally support him, but yeah, overall Biden seems to be a decent enough guy. Probably hears what Yang's saying and goes like, wow, you're actually kind of right about this stuff. I want to kind of work with you more. So, I mean, we did a video about it talking, what if for whatever reason, I personally believe Biden doesn't want to be president and he's running for other reasons. Not other reasons, but I think he didn't think it was going to get this far. I think everyone kind of figured by this point, somebody would have gotten the rub off of, like Biden would have put someone over by now, to use a wrestling term. I think they were imagining, and they haven't got to the point where Biden can put anyone over yet. So he's still just waiting. Like, trust me, I think some of the stuff he's saying and doing, dude, he's an old guy. I don't know, maybe I'm being rude, but I look at people like Joe Biden and a few other people, and I'm like, you guys have served, you've done your job, you've done your bit, you've served your country, like, retire. Like, what are you really fighting for anymore? Like, it's not, I don't know, like Joe, you could still fight for the things you want to fight for without being in office, like do you really think Barack Obama can't be an influential voice for something that's important to him? You think Joe Biden couldn't? He was VP for 8 years. I don't know. I just think that there's something weird with him in the race still. I keep seeing him making moves where I'm like, is this guy even serious? I don't know.
Okay, another super chat from Josh Ring. Yang literally gave the same answer about Kamala.
Oh yeah, I saw Yang's Kamala answer. Now, one a little different. Joe Biden said that he would definitely. No, actually, hold on. The Andrew Yang answer, I believe, was, Andrew Yang, would you consider Kamala Harris the VP? I would 100% enjoy to work with Kamala in the future because I like her. Like, it was like, oh no. But Joe Biden did actually say he would consider Kamala as a VP. And there was some rumors being passed around. The reason why Kamala finally did drop is because people came to her and said, hey, if you drop out, you're going to be heavily considered for VP. And I think because of that, that's why I've heard rumors. But I mean, the next day Biden comes out and says,
hey, we just did a little political poll right here. Marion H says, problem solver politics, LOL. I was about to sign off when Cardin started singing. So we were able to maintain the female viewership, which is inherently a vote because of my singing, Cody, my enthusiastic crooning. So when we ask Brittany the Shadow and others, what can Andrew Yang do to increase the female vote? What if he just started crooning? What if he just started singing parts of his platform?
No.
Like, the freedom dividend, and like, no, the boomer chicks would love it. It could be like a Sinatra remake. And then for the younger chicks, he could get Bieber involved. This guy has no problem getting musical hits with these.
If you got Bieber involved, that would sway me. That would sway me.
Oh! Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, dude, it exists. You can think of it. It's on the internet.
Oh, man.
Won't you come see about me?
Oh, this is worse than me. This is worse than me, dog. Won't you forget about me? Like, this guy is a solid 2 octaves too low, man.
Going for it.
Okay, we got another super chat, bro. We got another super chat.
Okay.
Oh, that's brutal, dude.
He's going for it.
That's brutal.
Going for it.
Okay, another super chat from That Silencer. I think Yang should do an interview led by Michelle Phan in the, quote, Off the Pill podcast. She only played a small part in the interview, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm looking at more.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I've seen this girl's podcast. She's got a lot of subs on YouTube, if I remember correctly. I think she's one of the most successful female YouTubers, if I'm not mistaken. Cody? Am I wrong?
I have no idea.
I don't know who she is.
Here's the thing. I'm on YouTube all day, every day, but I watch weird YouTube content. Shout outs. You know what? I'm gonna take a minute to shout out some YouTubers I like to watch. I'm gonna shout out to Snakerer. I'm gonna shout out to Lindy Beige. Shout out to Scholagrim. Shout out to Shadiversity. Shout out Shadiversity. Yeah. Shout out to AVGN. Yeah, you have AVGNs too, right?
Okay. So, apparently, AI Jan brings some breaking news that ReadyWhip has now endorsed Andrew Yang for president in 2020.
Move. Big endorsement.
In a bold move.
Huge.
Vaughn L. Baker. Vaughn! They never made us do anything that humiliating in the Army. All right, my man. Thank you for your service.
Right. You have to still respect the people you fight next to in the Army, so it's probably hard to really respect the people you're like honestly, imagine having to see your superior or any kind of officer do the high hope stance. It's like when he gives you an order, it's like, dude, I've seen you do the high hope stance.
So he's making the point that this is humiliation instead of ego destruction.
Exactly.
This isn't subordination and obedience. This is humiliation.
When you go too far, exactly. Pete's lording over his people, making him do the high hope stance.
Vaughn L. Baker. Hey, he looks like a cool, happy guy. I hope that's his real face and his icon. But Vaughn, thank you for the super chat and thank you for your service, my man. You're a stud. Also, where'd you serve in the Army, man? Where'd you serve?
We have 2 more super chats.
Oh, 2 more super chats. Hit it.
Okay. Who's next to drop? Hopefully, Booty Jizz. Oh, you made me say Booty Jizz.
Most likely,
Buttigieg.
Most likely is probably Cash. I mean, here's the funny thing, right? If you were to take a completely objective look at this, you would just say, oh, John Delaney. Clearly, the guy's polling at 0%. He has no support. John Delaney is one of those people I think he's just not going to drop. He's just going to, the election will end. He'll never, you know what? John Delaney will be one of those people who has a concession speech prepared for November 2020 on election night.
Yeah, seriously.
When he has to concede, when the primary ends, all of his concession speech. I apologize, during the primary. So it's like, what, May 2020? But I think most realistically it's going to be Julian Castro. I think Cory Booker looks like he wants to drag it a little bit longer. It looks like Castro, he's really been hanging on for a while, and I believe Castro will be the next. That's my guess.
So Marianne H. says something really hilarious. Opposite of Donald Trump and his Asian man who loves karaoke? ? Edward Travis says Cardin should challenge Yang to a karaoke battle. Maybe if there's a cool enough song. And interesting enough, Drew214 says, speak for yourself on, I had to do much worse. Actually, I got a question. How many veterans do we have in the chat? It's interesting that Drew214 brings this up. My friend was in the Marines, and he said the thing he had to do that was humiliating all the time was if somebody was late or somebody did something stupid or just somebody was too tall or too short, the sergeant would come out and would yell at him. He'd be like, you get on the floor and wiggle like a piece of bacon and say, I'm a piece of bacon, I'm a piece of bacon. And then the other person had to come over and wiggle next to him, acted like a piece of bacon. And the two people had to act like they were toast and two people act like they were eggs, all wiggling on this frying pan. And he said it was the most hilarious thing to watch. And the person that had to go in there was the next person that cracked a smile. And that was the humiliating thing they had to do. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess it varies from area to area. Maybe they were just more distinguished in Vaughn's time. You know, maybe just gentlemen were more gentlemen. You know what I'm saying?
It depends on everything, man. You only experience what's going on around you at the time you're
Ooh,
there.
we got another super chat from Coastal Yang Gang. Brittany!
Okay, hold on. I gotta scroll. Okay, Evelyn should do a Goodreads book club discussion.
That'd be nice. Actually, I wonder. That's probably. To be frank, I'm pretty ignorant of the Goodreads community, but I would not be surprised if it was largely female. Could be away from.
I think we should see more of Evelyn.
Well, they've been moving Evelyn in more. They have been moving Evelyn in more.
Because really, I don't know that much about her. So maybe that would help.
This is cool.
Evelyn's a girl.
Well, yeah, I know she's a girl.
Hey, so Coastal Yang says 1 for vets in the chat. Awesome. Ideas for Yang says 74D. Awesome. I assume that's a rank. I don't know about enough about the ranking system, know what that is. Jeff Leclerc says nice, and 63T from Ohio Hammer Network, rock on. Josh Ring says 45K. Wow, I'm digging. And Hello Room says active duty. We got a bunch of active duty people here. Also, is that Matt Dominguez active duty? He super chats us a lot. I'm pretty sure he's active duty in Asia. And then Michael Foster and Douglas Landis. 92F, awesome. What does 92F mean, man? Trev Third just gave us a super chat of $10 and says, just don't ever do the Pete Booty dance. So is that the new grift on Problem Solver Politics? Cardin engages in a wild dance, and then gets paid not to do the dance.
Oh, someone says on a rank, it's a job code. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. Rock on. It's a job code. I was about to say, I'd never heard that before. I know there's like E5 and E2 and all that other stuff. I never heard of any of those job codes. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then let's see. So I don't have an answer, but somebody said, what is my Christopher Cody favorite style sword and helmet? I don't know, man. When you get to, there's so many styles possible to say. I would say though, dude, there is something about the just like classic medieval longsword. And then, I don't know, I'm boring. Medieval longsword and the Corinthian helmet. You know, the really cool Greek one. Boring, but those are the cool ones. I don't know what you want me to tell you, you know?
Dude, check this out, bro. Josh Ring says 45K is a tank turret mech.
Oh, it's awesome. It's very cool.
That's wicked, dude. Yeah. The guy who's fixing all the tank turrets. So,
yeah.
You ever seen those things shoot down at Camp Pendleton, bro?
No, at Camp Pendleton.
Do you have any family that are military personnel or close friends that can get you on base?
No.
Oh, it is really cool. You actually can go to campgrounds on a lot of these army bases because, you know, they date back to the turn of the century, some of these places. And we went camping with friends on base at the campgrounds on base. The guy that's the liaison for the Army to Hollywood is a dear family friend of ours. And we went camping down there. And, dude, those tanks, when they're training the young gunners how to do it, they roll down these spikes and these pylons that go into the ground and, like, drill the tank into the ground, similar to those big cranes that put down, you know, the anchors. But they straight up anchor into the ground, and with those anchors in the ground, when they line up that turret and it straight up fires and goes, the whole tank shifts back like 2.5 feet, dude. It is the coolest, most BA thing you'll ever see live. The only thing that could make it better is if Tchaikovsky would come in and do the 1812 overture. So it's like, you You know what I'm saying? Instead of just some cymbals crashing or some cannons firing, we should do it with the legit, I don't know the name of the tank, but that would be super sick.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, tanks are really cool. People like tanks. I don't know. I mean, want to hear something funny? Want to hear a funny story about tanks? I can't confirm this, but it's a funny tank story. Is that, at one point, it's not a tank story about humans. There was a,
Okay.
I believe during the Cold War, they were concerned about a lot of tanks invading from the east to the west, right?
Okay.
So somebody decided and said, well, if we're concerned about tanks invading, we should just build guns that we can shoot tanks with. Now, you know who was very much opposed to this idea?
Who?
You'd be surprised, but it costs a lot more money to make a tank than just a gun that shoots tanks. So the tank lobby's like, no, we have to build more tanks.
Okay.
You have to buy more tanks from us that are to fight the tanks. Tanks fight tanks. And this idea that you must buy tanks to fight the tanks actually took over and purely financially, you make more money selling tanks than anti-tank guns. The West had a weaker defense than they should have against the East because of that during the Cold War. Didn't matter. I thought it was funny, man. My larger point there is just that the big money lobbies will win out. Even when it comes to we don't want the communists to invade us, when the lobbies say you buy a tank instead of a tank gun, you buy a tank. It's crazy. It's an anecdote. It goes all over the place. I understand. I'm just saying that, dude, the lobbies win out in the end. They really do.
Dude, that is funny. So anyway, we got a couple of super chats here before we finish. Michael Foster says, what would 80 military members use the FD for, and would they still be able to collect it while deployed? Okay, so I assume, what would AD military members use the freedom dividend for? Active duty. Okay, there we are. What would active duty military members use the freedom dividend for, and would they still be able to collect it while deployed? Dude, I got to tell you, if you're in the freaking Army and you don't get the freedom dividend, there's something wrong with this system. So I'm an absolute sucker for veterans. I usually vote against most of these frivolous measures that we have in California because we already have enough money for everything we need to do. We don't need more measures to pay for things. You guys in Sacramento just need to cut the waste and learn how to spend your money like an average family does. So I usually vote against all measures, except for I am an absolute sucker for pretty much anything that says veteran in it. Like whenever they want to like subsidize home loans, car purchases, phone subscriptions, whatever, I'm just like, dude, if this guy stuck his neck out of there, or this girl stuck their neck out there in the line for me so I didn't have to, hero status, boom, you can get whatever loan you want with my tax dollars. I'm all about that. So let me see. They better get it, says Eric Brazil. Period. Yes, I totally believe. Hezekiah Crocker says Yang News is my addiction. And Ohio Hammer Network brings up a good point. Michael Foster, most I hear talk about it would be, most families, military families, I assume he's referencing here, talk about it, would invest it in their families that are staying home to invest. Oh, that'd be a really, really good idea, actually. And I'm kind of excited about the idea of American citizens being able to actually start building up capital on their own. So if they want to start a business, they can actually invest their own saved freedom dividend if they already have employment that's able to feed their families and keep a roof over their head. So venture capitalism isn't the only way to make money. So Eric Brazil does admit that after my hookers and blow phase is over, I would use the freedom dividend to better my life.
Smart.
That's good to hear. Where, you know, the first step to recovery, you know what I'm saying, is recognizing there's a problem. And then let me see. Okay, I'm going to skip these last two comments. All right, awesome. So anyway, we're actually going to have to wrap up here, Cody, in the next 2 minutes. Basically, this was awesome. Loved having you guys in the chat.
Wait, is Bennett still in the race? Is Michael Bennett still in the race?
Michael Bennett, I thought he dropped out. Wasn't he one of the first people to drop out?
I don't even know who that is.
Hold on. I believe Michael Bennett's the defensive lineman for the formerly for the Seahawks. The other Bennett, the presidential Bennett. Is that a John? No, it's not a John. Is that Tony? Not Tony Bennett. What Bennett? It's Michael Bennett.
Okay, interesting.
I did look at Michael Bennett. Is there a Michael Bennett running for president and a Michael Bennett defensive lineman?
Wow. I don't know. So anyway, look,
yes,
guys.
And I got bad news from Michael Bennett. If you have not dropped out yet, man, drop out. I did not even realize that you shared a name with that guy. So.
Yeah. So anyway, I got to say this was awesome. One of our better chats. Feels great to be back on YouTube Live. If you guys haven't yet, please make sure that you subscribe to Twitter on PSP Radio 1. That's how Cody reaches out to everybody. That's how I reach out to everybody to make a lot of our announcements. It's also how we make sure that we get a lot of tips on cool things that are happening with the Yang Gang. You can always DM us pictures, so on and so forth. So check us out at PSP Radio 1. Make sure that you also call us and leave us a voicemail if you got a question. We love hearing from our audience members. Make sure that you call us at 1-833-PSP Radio and leave a voicemail. And if you can, sub to this channel on our secondary channel, Problem Solver Politics. If you can drop us a subscription, that would be great. That way we can also communicate to you through our community posts as well. So just subscribe to this channel, and you can check up on the hilarity of lots of our other streams that we do on other platforms at Problem Solver Politics Stream and Clips. Make sure you check us out on Problem Solver Politics Stream and Clips. If you haven't been able to super chat today and you'd like to contribute to the channel, you can always hit us up on our PayPal link at problemsolverpolitics.com or in the link in the description. You guys got anything else you want to say before we close?
I would just answer one of our Trev Third. While I'm not exactly sure every state hookers are actually legal in, I believe for the most part hookers are accepted in all 50 states.
Cody knows.
When I lived in Reno, you couldn't do it in the county in Reno.
I believe
you
they're
had to go to
accepted.
Davis County outside of Reno.
Excuse me.
I believe
It might have been a 38 and a half minute drive from my apartment, but no, I'm just totally
legal
kidding.
or illegal, they seem to be on some level accepted in all 50 states.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So anyway,
They call it the oldest profession for a reason.
It was great hanging out with you guys. This is Problem Solver Politics. We will see you in the next video.